Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and this is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning June the 19th through to the 25th, I think? 25th, yes, 2017. Just had to do a bit of counting on the old fingers because that's how sophisticated I am. Well, luckily my ability to tune into the angels and deliver guidance is better than my ability to count up days. So we'll start with Monday the 19th and shuffle the cards and see what the angels have to tell us about what we can bear in mind to best face what comes up for us on the day. Open your heart. This is all about passion. So we had a message last Wednesday about needing to channel our passion because life's not supposed to be routine, and a lot of you I know from the readings I've done and from the feedback I get tell me that you struggle to find time to do things that you're passionate about, and it's really difficult for me to tell you that you need to be doing more, to be doing a job you love, because I know from my own personal experience that doing a job you love is extremely difficult and it can be hard to make ends meet. So what I like to advise people to do instead is to make more time to do things they love in their spare time. And time is not something you find, it's something you make. So you need to make time for that, because if you don't, your life is not only boring and you start to feel unhappy and unwell in terms of your well-being, you also start to what was I trying to say here? You also start to feel really disconnected. That's what I'm looking for. Because when we're doing things that we're passionate about, we're expressing the energy that's within us, and we're expressing, what comes through from the universe as well. It's about mindfulness as well, and that divine connection that's really accessed when we're really in flow and we're doing what we love. So there's that meaning here. There's also some messages here for those of you who are struggling with wounding around your heart. Now, this is not something I take lightly, because wounding around the heart can be caused by grief, losing someone you love, or heartbreak, splits. So, it sounds so simplistic to say this, but it is something that you need to get some help with in healing. And yes, time does help. I don't think it always, there's that saying, time heals all wounds. I don't think that's always the case. I think there often is still a scar, and that's okay. But this card's really asking you to address where the blockages are. Are you still angry at someone who's broken your heart? Are you still carrying around resentment over what happened? Are you still angry at yourself for choosing to get involved in that situation in the first place, or for choices you made during that relationship? Are you holding regret over someone who's passed over and things that you wish you'd said or done towards them? Or, it's quite a wide scope here. Those are just examples, but what you need to do is try and get some healing around that. So I would suggest you do some meditations around the heart chakra. You can find those on YouTube, or you could look at getting some energy work, some Reiki done, kinesiology, anything like that can be helpful. But ultimately, one of the best things you can do is to write about it and pour out your heart on paper. And it sounds too simple to be helpful, but it really does help. And then at the end, make sure you rip it up as a symbolic gesture to the universe that you're letting it go. And you may need to do that several times as well. But the problem is when we're struggling with these sort of wounds, or we've put up barriers around our heart and we can't open it. And this is about opening the heart. It's very important. We can't do that while we're still hurting, or we're still locked in what happened before, and we're still really struggling to let go of that sense of loss. And it's possible to live with a sense of loss, but not to the extent that it's preventing you from opening up your heart to new people and new experiences. So looking at Tuesday, whoops, that's not right. There's such a way of telling me I've got the wrong deck there. So, here we go. There's nothing to worry about. We've had a lot of these messages lately. I don't know if this is Archangel Michael on this card. To me, it looks like him. It certainly feels like his energy, but it's very much a Michael-esque kind of reassurance here. So he's the Archangel associated with security, protection, safety, strength, courage, confidence. And I use his personal card deck, well, not personal, but his card deck that's dedicated to him whenever I have a client who's asking me about anything to do with anxiety or any sort of fears that they're harbouring. So he's a great one for helping with that. And here he is reassuring us, just as he did last Tuesday, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's going to be okay. Whatever you're worried about, you worrying about it is not going to help, because the universe is already working on the solution and is already putting it into action as we speak. That might not happen today, but you need to let go of your worry, because when you do that, you prevent the universe from helping you. And you also create a lot of unnecessary fear energy that can sort of block that and can, inhibit your own well-being as well. It doesn't help. It doesn't help to worry about things. And I know it's a normal reaction, but when we stay in that place of worry, we actually don't do ourselves any favors. It's about learning to trust the universe and letting the universe do what it needs to do, and knowing it's all going to be okay. Yes, easier said than done, I know. So that's the deal with Tuesday. Looking at Wednesday. Oh, perhaps this isn't the right deck after all. Oh well. Every day I'm shuffling. Yep, that's the wrong deck. It doesn't really matter anyway. I choose them based on what I like, and sometimes I just say, nah. Computer says no. Bodies of water. Okay, so this is Wednesday. The healing power of water really can't be overstated. There's a great quote that I use a lot on, and I think I saw it on Pinterest, but it's constantly used because it's true. The three greatest the three greatest cures for anything are salt water, tears, the ocean, or sweat. I think that sounds a bit gross, but it means exercise, So, getting in the ocean can be a really great way to help, or to be near the ocean even when you're emotional, because it helps get your emotions flowing again, because it's when emotions are stuck that we're really kind of burdened down by them. And water can just refresh, can cleanse. That's not just happening to your skin, it's something that happens to you energetically as well. So if you're in a situation where you're not anywhere near water, bathing in Epsom salts can help. Float therapy, I'm a huge advocate for that. But even just being near water can help you. And it's being around nature. That's when we really can hear our intuition better as well. It's very healing. It's not going to make the situation go away, but it might sharpen your reserves to deal with it, your own emotional resilience, and help you try and let go of where you're getting stuck, so the universe can bring through that solution. Thursday, oh good, we finally got it right on this card deck. Power animal. So sometimes people will ask me what their power animal is, and I don't know. I don't have that kind of connection to the animal kingdom. But if you feel like your pet or a pet that's passed on is your spirit animal or your power animal, you're probably right, because your intuition will be telling you that. So there's that message here, if that's something you've been wondering about. There's also a message asking you to, for some people it will be about needing to pursue a career working with animals. If that's something you've already been thinking about, this confirms it. It can also be about needing to be around animals. If you're excessively worried and stressed, being around animals is hugely healing, because they don't have any worries, and so when you're around them you can kind of tune into that, and it's very relaxing. Anybody who has a pet will tell you that. So if you don't have a pet, can you go and walk one or volunteer somewhere, or just being around animals can help you today. And if none of that's resonating with you, which is totally fine, because it's a very practical message, it's not going to tick all the boxes for everyone. Just keep in mind this. What I would love for people to get from any of these cards, regardless of how it relates to you, is the reassurance that the universe is looking after you and it's got your back. So you're going to be okay. Whatever's going on for you, even if you think, don't really have a connection with animals, don't really feel compelled to go and spend time with any, this is not for me. All you need to take from this is the knowledge that the universe is here and it's speaking to you, and you can keep that dialogue going. If what I'm saying is not working for you, talk to the angels yourself, ask them for help, ask them for signs, and they will give them to you. So Friday, oh goodness me, message already. Peace. I think I was going to say dovetails, but perhaps that came into my mind because there is in fact a dove on this. I think it does dovetail quite nicely with the messages we've had, which are very much about finding peace. Finding peace from some of the hurts that we've had, finding peace in the situation we're in and knowing it's going to be resolved, and some practical ways to find peace in our life as well. That's ultimately the angels' job. They are here to help us find peace in our earthly lives, to help us, learn the lessons we need to learn as well, and to help us navigate our way through, but ultimately to help us be at peace. So again, whatever it is that's on your mind that's stressing you out, they're really asking you to try and let that go and trust that it's going to be okay. And they're also asking you, what they're saying to me, I should say, is that some of you are locked in conflicts with situations, and this is partly for me as well in a situation I had this morning where I got really irrationally angry by things I saw on the internet. Well, maybe not irrationally, because anybody who spent time on the internet knows there's a lot of dicks on the internet, and it's quite a normal response to be riled up by them. Some of the, the hate-filled speech and things I saw, they were really starting to wear me down, and it didn't occur to me at the time. Sometimes it just doesn't occur to me at the time, but then later on I realised I actually just needed to go and meditate, which I'm lucky I can do. I'm working at home right now, to just kind of get some calm again, because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. This stuff doesn't matter. What other people think of you, what they think of the world, nothing to do with me. I just had to let that go again and be at peace. So remember that peace is something that's not outside, that you find in a temple or a church, or even in nature, but it's something that's within you. Yes, it can be brought forward to the surface more easily if you're in those places of peace, but ultimately it's something you find within you. You do not get it externally, which is why it's so bad, or not bad, but it's so unhelpful when people go looking, they're troubled, and so they start drinking or trying to, find these methods of escape. They don't work because it's within you. You can't find it externally. It won't last. So what we have to do is kind of burrow down under those layers of whatever's going on, and to get to that place of peace. And part of that is just about surrendering to, this is the way life is, and just let go of the things that you cannot control, like idiots on the internet. Nothing to do with me. So Saturday, crikey. Okay, I haven't done a very good job of that. This is quite beautiful, actually. Archangel Uriel, and it's about healing of emotions. So I think that's so in theme with what we've had so far. And I'm just going to read this to you. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. I mean, that really emphasizes what I've already said for what's come up over the week. So it's really about that letting go of those emotions. Now, I know I've talked about this before, but there's nothing wrong with being angry or annoyed, as I was earlier. The problem is you don't want to stay in that place. They're normal human emotions. It is not possible to be filled with joy and bliss and happiness 100% of the time. It is totally normal to be sad and upset at various points. You just don't want to stay in those places, because then when you do, you start to attract more of it, and that's unhelpful. So here we have the angels helping us, or urging us to try and let go of those emotions. Sometimes we want to stay angry at people because we feel justified. Sometimes we think that we punish them by staying angry. Sometimes we think that if we don't stay angry at them, they've won, or they're right. And it's just kind of a game that the ego plays. It's not really how it helps. It's a game the ego plays to keep you stuck and to make you feel right. It's that kind of indignation. And I know from experience, and I'm sure you guys do too, it just doesn't help. All that happens is you end up punishing yourself. So what we need to do is be able to let go of that anger. And it doesn't mean that what the person did to you was right. It means they probably were wrong, and that's why you're upset about it. But it means you're letting go of your anger about the situation, your resentment, in exchange for peace. The best gift you can ever give yourself. It's nothing to do with them. It's all about you. You've got no control over how other people feel, how they act, how they receive, how they receive consequences or how karma gets them or whatever it is. Sometimes we want people to suffer because we were hurt, but it's not up to us to determine how people are punished. It's just a game the universe plays. Okay, now I've got a secondary message here for some of you who are worried about money. It's a message about abundance, letting you know that you're going to receive the money you need, but you need to believe in that, and you need to not be attached to how that comes through for you. So I'm not going to put this on my Instagram because I'm being told that the person who's watching this, the person who needs that message most right now is watching it, which is not to say there might be other people who also need this message, but there is someone quite specific this is targeting, and they want you to know that the money will come through for you, but you need to let go of your desperate need to have it right now and to have it delivered in the form that you expect or that you want. So just let go and trust. Sunday. I'm actually going to shuffle again because that did not go well. Okay. Stress management, kind of an unexpected card to get on a Sunday. Many of us are not at work, but sometimes stress is something we feel most in the weekends because we've only got, for those people who work Monday to Friday, we've only got those 2 days to ourselves, and so we end up running around like a lunatic trying to do all the things we need to do, all the life admin, all the chores, and then we end up completely exhausted and more stressed out because there were so many other things we could have done and didn't do, or we feel shortchanged because we didn't get to relax and have any fun. So there's a few practical things they want. They're emphasising diet here. For a lot of you, your diet's way out of whack, and I'm the last person in the world who's going to judge you for that because that would make me a hypocrite. My diet has been quite shocking lately and I need to address that. It's not about, losing weight or eating the cool superfoods. It's about making sure you get the nutrients you need so you've got enough energy to do what you need to do, and to try and keep your moods a bit more stable as well. So there's that message, and they're also saying some of you need to stop trying to do so much. Like life isn't a relay where you run around trying to grab something or from every sort of station and tick every single box. It's not how much you do that matters, it's how you feel. And if you feel overwhelmed, setting yourself up with more tasks to do is not going to help. So some of you need to manage your expectations, which is going to help your stress levels, and some of you just need to do some delegation and get rid of some of the jobs on your list because you're not getting enough support. And some of you, they're saying very much, are not asking for enough support. You're expecting people to help you but not asking them to, so they can't read minds, or they haven't figured out that they can read minds yet. So you need to look at the way you're managing your day-to-day life. In weekends, in weekdays, whatever, all the time. Stop feeling so overwhelmed. That's up to you because you're setting yourself up for that. The universe can help you. Ask the angels for help. Ask them to show you what shouldn't be a priority, or you probably don't need that. You probably already know. Sometimes, because we live in a world where we have so little control, sometimes the ego likes to try and create this delusion of control. So we think, if I have the perfect house, I'm winning at life, and I'm doing all I need to do, and I'm a success. And that's just not true. Not there's anything wrong with having a clean house, but if you're a slave to that delusion, or if you're a perfectionist, you're really setting yourself up for failure, and you're also creating a rod for your own back. And frankly, no one cares. It really doesn't matter how much of your to-do list you get done. No one else cares. And I think that you might feel a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day, but you'll probably just come up with more things that you need to do and then start feeling overwhelmed all over again. It's a race you can never win. So let's look back at the week. Sorry, I feel like I'm really preaching to the choir here, but perhaps I'm telling you because I need to hear it myself. It's often the case with these things. I'm certainly not perfect. So when I look at the themes here, we've got a big message about letting go of heartbreak or heart pain, which can take the form of, hurt. It can take the form of grief, or it could even be, for some of you, pain over your relationship with yourself. Some of the pain that you're causing within yourselves because you are hurting yourself by the way you're living, or hurting yourself by expecting yourself to be something that you're not. It could be body standards. It could be, I don't know, being a slave to some other sort of expectation of success. Letting go of worry and being at peace. Those are the strongest themes here. And there's some practical ways I've given us to help us ourselves. Around being around water can certainly be helpful, and that's also letting go. Water is a lot about release as well as it is about cleansing and refreshing. So, and here we've got emotional healing once more. And we also have a repeat of that message we had last week about getting going with making our passion, being in line with our passions. So that's it for the week. I'll put these on Instagram. My Instagram is at One Grounded Angel. My Facebook page is One Grounded Angel. And if you wish to contact me, you can do that by DMing me on Instagram or Facebook, or you can contact me, probably the most effective way is via my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. That's ONE, and there is a contact button on there. So I love hearing from you guys and I get great feedback, but please do not contact me and ask me for personal guidance. You need to go through the website and book an appointment. I simply don't have the time to give people guidance about what's going on in their personal lives. I'm happy to help you understand the cards better, but I really can't extend to, I get a lot of DMs from people just saying, what's going on in my relationship future? I don't know. Why don't you book a reading and I'll tune in and find out. I really need to have that done in a formal capacity, because otherwise I get overwhelmed. And of course, I can't give these away for free. It's my business. And if you value my services, you'll be willing to book an appointment to honour my process and to pay for it, to show that you accept there is value here for you. So I hope you understand, and I'm aware that the people I'm speaking to probably do understand, because most of the people who contact me with those sort of DMs don't even follow me. So possibly I'm preaching to the choir here, but thank you very much for your support of my work, and I hope you understand the way I operate. And I'm more than happy to give away this information for free. I do it because it's a service, but I have to kind of put some boundaries around that, because there's only so many hours in the day. Thank you very much for your understanding, and I look forward to reading for you again next week. Have a fantastic week, you guys.